What's happening, gang? It's your boy Retro back again with another reaction video. Yeah. Today we got another huge update. I know you guys could probably already tell it is going down. Just by that title alone, you're definitely gonna want to see this. And as we're witnessing the end, an action's finally being taken against these rogue agents that have been coming after Donald Trump with these ever so blatant political witch hunts on the weaponization of the Department of Justice system, guys. I'm excited to get into it, see how Jim Jordan is finally being able to tackle these individuals. We're not straight into it. Make sure you guys hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Before we get into it, you guys, hit that like button, also hit that subscribe button for your boy. And without further ado, let's jump straight into it, folks. Check this one out.
Colleague Matt Gaetz, appointmentship to the Attorney General. Can you game theory that for us? That seems to be arguably the most controversial pick by President Trump. We freaking love it. We've loved Matt Gaetz and his questions on your committees to everyone from FBI Cyber to Merrick Garland. Talk us through. I know that you're very close with Matt. What's your take?
Well, first of all, I agree with you. I mean, one of the most talented individuals that I've seen in my time in Congress at cross-examining a witness, and also we know if Matt is the Attorney General, we won't have a Justice Department that is saying, "Oh, we should go investigate moms and dads showing up at school board meetings." We won't have a Justice Department where the Richmond field office of the FBI puts together a memorandum which says if you're a pro-life Catholic, you're somehow an extremist. And maybe we'll have a Justice Department that can tell us answers to some kind of basic things like who planted the pipe bombs on January 6th, who leaked the Dobbs decision, and here's one, who put cocaine at the White House? Like, why don't we know that? Like,
who left the door open from the inside, J6 is what I want to know. Who let all those folks in?
Think they could figure some of those things out. And maybe not have a Justice Department that just weeks before an election, the Civil Rights Division sends a letter to Glenn Youngkin, sends a letter to Ohio's Secretary of State saying, oh, you can't take off non-citizens from the voter registration rolls. So that to me is what this is really about. We want people who value freedom and value the rule of law, not politics from our Justice Department. And it's also why I'm so pleased with the RFK nomination. There's a guy who values freedom and free speech and the First Amendment, and Tulsi Gabbard as well.
I think this is why you can just hear the scream. That I'm all the way in Florida, but you can hear the screams. And I'm not sure if you're in Ohio or not today. You can just hear it out of Washington D.C. It's a dull roar, because the transparency is really going to atomize the credibility of these organizations the moment that you find out that there's DNA on the cocaine at the White House, which there is. And you see that they've been covering that up, whether it's a family member or a high-level staffer. Hard to bring cocaine in the White House, Congressman.
Yeah, no kidding.
I mean, wouldn't advise anyone to ever try. You know, you get hit up by a drug-sniffing dog. When I go into the White House, that's how they treat me. Yep. So don't do that. When you see, if there's evidence that the person with the pipe bomb was a Fed, as the case has been made on this program multiple times, that there's a lot of evidence, very strange circumstances surrounding the pipe bombers. That atomizes the credibility of these agencies, like immediately.
Yeah. And Benny, remember, with the Dobbs leaking that decision, we had the lives of Supreme Court justices put in jeopardy. I mean, what they had to do to protect Justice Kavanaugh and others. I mean, but we don't know. We don't know anything about that. I mean, like, come on. Yet you got time to do the crazy things that they're doing. So that just makes no sense. And this free speech thing, I mean, with RFK Jr., I had a conversation with him a couple months ago when he endorsed President Trump. And it was interesting. Maybe we've talked about this, but it was interesting because I told him, I said, you know, when I invited him in as a witness in front of our committee, the Weaponization of Government Committee, I invited Tulsi Gabbard, and the Democrats went after him. In fact, the Democrats went, now think about this. When RFK Jr. comes in and testifies, the Democrats made a motion in the committee hearing to go to executive session to kick everyone out so that no one could hear what RFK Jr. was going to testify to in a hearing.
That right there, that just goes to show you the level of, censoring. They'll go to censor everything. They don't want you to know what's going on. The censorship from the left is actually insane. That right there just goes to show you. Come on now, closed door sessions.
Committee hearing to go to executive session to kick everyone out so that no one could hear what RFK Jr. was going to testify to in a hearing on censorship. I mean, you can't make this stuff up. So I really appreciate that Tulsi and RFK Jr. have been nominated for the cabinet too, because they understand the First Amendment is critically important for this country to remain the greatest country ever.
There seems to be some reticence or perhaps some cold feet, or maybe Congressman, I'm just like reading into it too much based on the media ecosystem in D.C. But what's your message to Republicans in the Senate about the vote for Gates?
I mean, I have confidence in President Trump. If this is the individual he wants, and we know Mr. Gates and Matt's commitment to protecting liberty, I mean, I think that should be driving the thinking. Same with Tulsi, same with RFK Jr., frankly, same with Pete Hegseth. This is who the American people, with their vote, this overwhelming win for President Trump, I think they said, we want the right attitude in our government.
Exactly. What us American folks said with our vote was, we're tired of the crazy preteen drama that we're seeing in our government. Put the adults back in charge. It's basically what we said with our votes.
And Trump, I think they said, we want the right attitude in our government. We want people coming in there saying, these agencies are supposed to serve we the people. They're supposed to represent we the taxpayers. And we're sick of the baloney we see from them, the politics and the waste of our money. That's why he's putting in place the people he is. And frankly, that's why you got Mr. Musk and Mr. Ramaswamy, who are going to say, like, enough of the ridiculous things that our tax dollars are spent on. Here's the report. Now, Congress, go pass legislation to get rid of some of this stuff. That is exactly the attitude the American people voted for, and the people President Trump is putting up for these key positions have that attitude.
People are, I mean, I think people are going to love it. I think the will of the people is at your back, and they're going to want to see these reforms. They're going to want to see reforms like federal voter ID in national elections. They're going to want to, like, not have. There's a county in California that's still counting votes. They're only 30% through counting votes today.
That's pitiful.
11 days from the election. That should be criminal. It shouldn't be allowed.
Okay.
It seems like also in Bucks County in Pennsylvania, they're trying to really meddle with some things. And
with Dave McCormick's win. And Dave McCormick won that race. So it's like, that's ridiculous.
Pull some shenanigans. That's right. So again, people would love to see our elections cleaned up and reformed from federal level. Is that on the docket for the House?
Yeah, it is. I mean, I think we should be. We had the bill, the SAVE Act, that we tried to get on the appropriations bill before the election. The Democrats wouldn't go for it. I think that's Mr. Stile and Mr. Roy, two great members, have worked on that. I think that's the kind of legislation we need to pass that would help us. When we're thinking about the election, you got to be a citizen. You got to demonstrate you're a citizen before you go register to vote. And I think states should be going with what we have in Ohio. You walk in to vote. There's a signature verification. You have to show your ID, and you got 2 Democrats, 2 Republicans at every single polling location. That's how it's supposed to be.
Speaking of Ohio, many people are floating your name for potentially being the next senator from Ohio. Any comment on that?
No, not going to be me. Not going to be me. I like Congressman Kerry, Congressman Davidson, 2 of my colleagues. I think they would be. I think they'd be tremendous. There's other good people being talked about as well, but that's a decision for the governor. Although I think President Trump may have some influence there, and maybe the guy that they're going to be replacing, who's going to be our next vice president, who did an outstanding job as our senator, maybe he may have a little say as well.
That's exactly right. Big position still yet to be filled. One I know that you'll be watching very closely. Maybe you can fill us in on who's going to be selected. FBI director. This is a monster position that is obviously going to be working. Has been before your committee many times and has been a major problem center when it comes to law enforcement in this country. Your thoughts?
I don't know who it'll be, but I do know I'm confident President Trump will continue with the attitude we talked about, where you're going to put people in these positions who respect the taxpayers. Think about the pre-dawn raids that the FBI has done.
Yo, there we have it, guys. That one coming from our friend Benny Johnson. I'll definitely be sure to leave that original video link down in the description box below. Those who want to go over there and check that out. Also, you guys to go over there and show our friend Benny Johnson tons of love. He's a solid dude. Oh my goodness, guys. We're seeing what it looks like when Americans all across the nation speak up, actually get get out and vote. You know, we've already said we don't want revenge. What we want is true justice. You know, we've seen all those rogue agents, you know, the blatant witch hunts, you know, politicizing our Department of Justice system, bringing politics into it, you know, in order to interfere with the 2024 elections. We don't want that to ever be a possibility again. And we need folks to, you know, do their due diligence, look into all these rogue agents, these bad actors that came after Donald Trump and also all of his allies. You know, we've seen them coming after not only Donald Trump, they came after RFK Jr., they came after Vivek. I mean, they came after anyone who was in support of Donald Trump. And we need to clean that rot out and get back to a place of free speech. We need to remind these folks once again that free speech isn't something that simply protects speech or words that we want to hear, but it's about things that you don't want to hear that's supposed to be protected, guys. Definitely out in the comments section though, let me know your thoughts. Also, make sure you guys hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you did enjoy more content like this, catch you guys on the next one. We go.